Some teams have a nemesis, a player who will consistently give his best performance against that side.
Throughout your career, some players have the wood over teams, and Ian always reserved his best performances for Australia.
Some players rise to the occasion, like a Cricket World Cup final, and seal their legacy with a match-winning performance.
Subtract Lewis from that list. Wasim Akram is on a hat-trick.
I can't forget Chris Lewis when he bowled in dipper, quick one, coming off the wicket so quick. I think Wasim had that art. I think he's the one of the best left-arm seam bowler I ever seen.
And Jonty Rhodes has demolished the stumps.
They go for it, and Donald's run out.
The skipper getting a century in a World Cup final.
Yes! A World Cup 100 to savour. India lift
the World Cup. Our first tale starts in Sydney at the 1992 Cricket World Cup, where the hosts and current holders Australia met England. It was a match Australia had to win to qualify for the semi-finals. Led by Alan Border, their record was not good, having lost their first two games and only managing to beat India by 1 run in a thrilling match. Now they were up against England and Ian Botham.
Something about Australia brings the best out of Beefy, always did. He just loved taking on the Aussies and beating them.
At that stage of his career, he wasn't the bowler he was. When I think back to the late 70s into the early 80s.
No, I wasn't 100% fit because I had a back injury, and then coming back from that surgery, I'd never going to be the same cricketer. But I still could do a job.
Australia batted first at the SCG in front of a packed house. The tradition and rivalry between the two teams making any encounter one of the great occasions in cricket.
Australia just picking up the pace now.
It's always a great contest, Australia-England. It's always special. We've sort of got high expectations of ourselves against England, playing at home. So we're playing the old enemy. This is a chance to sort of get ourselves back on track and get ourselves into that semi-final berth.
Tom Moody opened the batting, and he was aware of the pressure on him and his team.
And that's 50 for Tom Moody.
I think whenever you have a home World Cup, there's huge expectation. Obviously, you're in front of your own audience. They're expecting you to deliver on your home turf. It's an advantage to have it at home. So there is that pressure that's in the back of your mind.
After Moody was dismissed with Australia on 114 for the 4th wicket, Alan Border stepped in and started to make an impression on England.
And Border has taken advantage of it.
Border was picking off the England attack, and skipper Graham Gooch knew the consequences because he'd lost the toss.
Generally in grounds like the SCG, if you won the toss, in those days you used to bat. You bat under the natural light, and then you make the opposition chase under lights, which was very difficult with the ball getting dirty, the ball getting a little bit green. In those days, scores bear no relation to what they are now. They're 100 less.
To get rid of Border, Gooch turned to the one player he knew could make a difference, Ian Botham.
Bowled a great ball to Alan Border, if I remember, nicked one back or something and got him bowled.
Bowled him!
And he gave us this little shuffling dance.
Neck and crop.
And then he did a strange little thing there, yes, I don't know quite what that was.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and also it wound the opposition up. And I used to like winding the opposition up.
And that's why they loved him so much.
And love him they did, because he could get wickets, and against Australia he didn't disappoint. His final figures, 4 for 31.
Oh, big appeal, this has got to be close. Yes, he's given him, Botham struck again.
A great belief in his own ability to change a game of cricket, and did it regularly.
That's in the air, and that is out as well. Good catch there by De Freitas. Moving away to his right, Botham's got another one.
The great thing from Beefy always, I felt, was that if he was on his game, he looked like he was enjoying it, and that communicated itself to the watching public.
England had restricted Australia to a total of 171. Now the hosts had to face England's new batting weapon, their pinch hitter, Ian Botham.
Ian Botham had a new role. He was a pinch hitter like Mark Greatbatch was with New Zealand. It came off in certain parts. Yes, he had Australia in his sights. He always did, didn't he?
I said that I'd love to have a go. I got the opportunity. I think it went pretty well.
And that's the sort of thing that Botham will do to try and annoy the Australian bowlers.
That whole World Cup went pretty well for me. Wickets and cost me very much. Runs.
Boundary to Ian Botham from a no ball.
Botham had done it to us again and made that sort of score that as a defending, as a bowling unit, everything's got to go right.
Well, that's 50 for Ian Botham, and the crowd have enjoyed every one of them.
Botham's role as England's pinch hitter was a revelation.
Throughout your career, some players have the wood over teams, and Ian always reserved his best performances for Australia. He got 4 wickets in that match, if I remember. As you say, took out the captain and took out the heart of the Australian team.
This is a great tournament, best figures ever.
Is it?
Yes?
Yeah, all right, yeah. No, it's just one of those days that went my way.
Melbourne, Australia, the host city and the final stop in the 1992 Cricket World Cup. And for finalists England and Pakistan, it was the end of a dramatic and exciting journey.
I woke up early. I had early night, obviously, with the World Cup final. You're not supposed to have a late night anyway. It's a World Cup final. It's the ultimate dream for any sports person.
You try and treat it, we all said, try and treat it as just another game. Well, it was more than just another game, obviously, because you don't get to too many World Cup finals.
Imran Khan, in the twilight of a truly great career, told his team to play England like cornered tigers, the words he'd used throughout the tournament to inspire his team.
So you've got your tiger on again, you want them to play like cornered tigers?
Yes, that's the motto recently, and they've done a great job. They've played like tigers, especially the younger boys. They haven't been overawed by any situation.
He got us in a corner. He said, I want you to fight like this. I said, fight like what, skipper? He said, fight like cornered tigers. You know what happens when tiger gets cornered? He attacks back.
Pakistan now faced England in the final. Led by Graham Gooch, they had been one of the strongest sides throughout the tournament.
We had a good team of experienced cricketers. There was no novices in our team. They'd all been playing for a number of years. We had a lot of skill and depth.
We'll bat.
I still remember Imran Khan telling us when he had come out after doing the toss that the captain looked just a little bit nervous, and it was Graham Gooch.
We are delighted to be here in front of a full house at Melbourne. It's our object to reach the World Cup final. We obviously like to win it, but we hope it's a good game of cricket.
The World Cup final, 1992.
The match did not start well for Pakistan. They were on 24 for 2 when Derek Pringle, one of England's most consistent bowlers, lined up Ramiz Raja.
And I felt, with the 2 new balls that were swinging, I was a threat, and it's always nice to feel that.
Yes, looked as though it had to be desperately close. Steve Buckner took his time.
After that, Pakistan's 2 most senior players, Imran Khan, the captain, and his deputy, Javed Miandad, dug in. Pakistan's innings was at stake.
Really trying to consolidate here.
That long partnership between Javed and Imran, it's such an extraordinary partnership. They lose some early wickets, and Javed and Imran going along at 1 or 2 and over.
Imran Khan allows himself a wry grin.
Him and Miandad blocked.
This is a one-day final.
Obviously, the idea was to have wickets in hand.
During that partnership, Pringle had 2 huge appeals for LBW against Javed Miandad.
And there's another one which must be very close, and the Englishmen are astonished this time as well.
It looked out. It looked out at the time as well.
I did think they were pretty adjacent. 2 against Javed, but Steve Buckner ruled that they weren't.
Things then got worse for England when captain Graham Gooch dropped Imran Khan when he was on just 9. something he would rue as Khan would go on to score a match-winning 72.
He skied a ball to me at mid-wicket and I didn't get a hand on it really, which was a crucial moment in the game. And the rub of the green and the little breaks that you need to turn matches didn't go for us and it went for them.
Javed Miandad gave crucial support to his captain, a brave innings from Pakistan's premier batsman, who ignored medical advice to play in the final.
And this time to the left, Javed Miandad may be distressed out there by illness, but he still can put away a full toss.
Javed's medical problems worsened, and he had to use a runner to continue his invaluable partnership of 139 with Imran Khan.
And Javed has gone to the reverse sweep to Botham at point, and Illingworth gets the wicket, and Javed Miandad, who for the last half an hour or so of his innings has been distressed and needed a runner.
Those guys dug deep for their country and they put in a performance that made the difference.
It was Ian Botham who ended Imran Khan's incredible innings of 72, with Pakistan on 4 for 197.
And Imran, who has batted so well for his 70, finally goes.
That really was the critical innings because that partnership got Pakistan first out of trouble and then allowed the likes of Inzi and Wasim Akram to come and blast the opposition.
That's a good hit. That's going all the way through mid-wicket for 4.
I got 33 of 18, Inzi got 30 plus, about 15 deliveries. So in the end, we got to 249.
Wasn't Akram we run out, so after 50 overs, Pakistan are 6 for 249.
Imran Khan had inspired his team with his batting. Now it was time for his bowlers to take the fight to England.
He was still able to galvanise those around him, and in particular Wasim Akram, who he told not to worry about no balls, just bowl as fast as you can.
He's gone. He's given Botham, I think I can say without any fear of contradiction, is far from impressed by that.
I was given out caught behind off my shirt. Things just didn't go right in that final.
When we got Beefy out, I couldn't hear anything. I just heard the bit of noise. I went with the appeal and so did the team.
Botham out for a duck in his last ever Cricket World Cup, and he was soon followed by Alex Stewart.
Oh, he's on his way, he's caught behind. Stewart turned and walked away. He knew it was all over.
It was tough, it was really tough, and we got off to a slow start. Their bowling attack was pretty special. Obviously they could swing the new ball well.
The final began slipping out of England's hands. They slumped to 69 for 4. But Neil Fairbrother and Alan Lamb launched a recovery. What happened next was one of the great bowling spells in one-day cricket.
I remember that delivery I bowled to Alan Lamb. Imran said, we need a wicket.
What a great delivery, left arm round the wicket. Alan Lamb has been cleaned up. Perhaps so too England.
You've got to admire the skills, haven't you? You've got to marvel at those skills, and those sort of little passages play turn the game.
When I got Alan Lamb, and I think me and Pakistan team thought the World Cup was ours.
Chris Lewis was next to step into Wasim's line of fire. It was a defining moment for one of the world's best bowlers.
Yeah, again, it was a plan. I had a chat with Imran at mid-on. He said, in-swing length.
Fairbrother is still there.
Subtract Lewis from that list. Wasim Akram is on a hat-trick.
I can't forget Chris Lewis when he bowled in dipper, quick one, coming off the wicket so quick. I think Wasim had that art. I think he's the one of the best left-arm seam bowler I ever seen.
He bowled fantastically well. He was in good rhythm, he was happy bowling quick, and then he was bowling with control as well.
It was a devastating spell of bowling that tore the England middle order apart. From then on, there wasn't much resistance, particularly after Neil Fairbrother was dismissed for a defiant 62.
Is it in the air? Surely this must be out. Keeper coming around, Mohan Khan. He's got it. That could be the World Cup.
As a unit, we clicked brilliantly, and in important matches, we got our act together.
With Pakistan poised for victory, Imran Khan bowled the final ball of the 1992 Cricket World Cup.
Up in the air, he's getting under it. This could be victory. It is. Pakistan win the World Cup. A magnificent performance in front of 87,000 people. Imran Khan has led his side to victory. What a great victory.
It was the greatest moment for Pakistan.
Well, the Pakistani players in prayer on the ground to give thanks for their victory.
The 1992 World Cup has been an outstanding success.
If you want me to pick an image of the World Cup, it was Imran Khan holding the trophy, because that was a mission.
You mustn't drop it.
We had the best captain I played under, that I can promise you. He believed in hard work, and if you do hard work, you'll eventually succeed. That was his mantra, and we followed his mantra all the way during that World Cup.
Certainly it was a proud moment, mainly because I think as a cricketer to be part of a host nation, being able to host the World Cup.
The 6th edition of the ICC Cricket World Cup was hosted by India, Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Concerns about the civil war in Sri Lanka meant Australia and the West Indies forfeited the games they were due to play, leaving them with plenty to do to qualify for the knockout stage.
We played most of all of our games in India. Actually, we didn't go to Sri Lanka. That's what happened, didn't we? We'd forfeited those games in Sri Lanka, so all of a sudden there we were right behind the 8 ball as it was.
Australia still qualified for the knockout stages, finishing second in their group. They met New Zealand in Madras in the quarter-finals.
We were certainly the underdogs. Yet again we proved that come World Cup time, we're a threat. But we really didn't want to play Australia, to be honest with you, in the quarterfinals. The semi-finals, yes, perhaps, but as it turns out, the draw just didn't quite work in our favour.
This tale is about two batsmen, Chris Harris and Mark Waugh, who both made history in the Cricket World Cup in 1996. Mark Waugh was a batting revelation, becoming the first ever batsman to score 3 centuries in the tournament. The third was against New Zealand.
Mark Waugh was a very, very talented player. In the subcontinent, especially during that World Cup, he played some brilliant innings.
Chris Harris was New Zealand's answer to Mark Waugh. Against Australia, he played the match of his life to bring his team back from the brink of defeat.
He's hit that one beautifully, and that'll go all the way. What a good start that is. Short outside off stump, not a very clever delivery, and that was beautifully cut away. Oh, he's got him, that's out, caught behind. Yes, he's gone for the big one, and unfortunately that's a huge nick. Astor's nightmare continues. That's out 2, he's caught behind. Yes, that's 2 down, going after that wide one again.
2 wickets down and more problems as the Australian attack tore into the New Zealand top order. Stephen Fleming, the next victim.
Gone. Now that's a real blow for New Zealand after the loss of the first 2.
3 wickets down. So New Zealand's coach Glenn Turner made the decision to push Chris Harris up the order and see off the seamers and then take on the threat of Shane Warne.
That's safe, that's beaten them out at point, and we'll go for 4.
That was one of the plans, that we were going to get Chris to go up the order. We felt that Chris could take on Shane Warne. That was the whole idea.
The tactic worked. New Zealand contained the Australian pace attack. About the 16th over, they were ready for Shane Warne.
It's a beautifully straight. A clean blow by Chris Harris and another boundary.
Glenn had great faith in Harry could take on Shane, and the rest is history, really.
That's it. That's a very, very good 100. Chris Harris has played superbly out there.
Harris's innings owed much to his best friend, Deepak Patel.
I reckon I got to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning with Harry telling me how he was going to charge Glenn McGrath and how he was going to hook him and pull him. He'd played every shot in the book, and to see him out there playing the way he did, and I remember when he got past 100 and he bloody waved the bat at me, and I was in stitches. I must admit, the guys were looking at me saying, "What are you laughing at?" And it wasn't until after the game that I told the rest of the team that I'd stayed up to 4 o'clock in the morning with Harry playing his shots and planning his innings. Look, it was incredible innings, 130 odd that he got, and that heat as well. And I think it's a testament to his fitness levels too.
New Zealand posted a total of 286. In reply, Australia got off to a bad start when Deepak Patel took the wicket of Mark Taylor.
Oh, there's a big appeal there for caught behind. The umpire's going to give him. Yes, he's given him. Well, I don't know whether he started to go. There was a huge appeal, and just for a second I thought umpire Mitchley was walking away.
New Zealand had used the tactic of using Deepak Patel's off-spin to open the bowling. It worked.
Getting the wicket was a huge bonus. Probably for the first time that I was used more as a defensive bowler, to try and get the run rate up early in the innings, don't give them that opportunity to get away on a fast start. Getting the wicket was a huge bonus.
Australia's Mark Waugh was having a good tournament, having scored 2 centuries already against Kenya and India. Against New Zealand, he set out to get a record 3rd in a Cricket World Cup. The hat-trick record was on.
That has gone back many a row, if not many a mile.
Someone said before that he was running out of energy, Mark Waugh. Like he is, doesn't show in this shot. It's a magnificent blow, and that's gone miles.
The way he controlled the game, particularly in the middle stages where we felt that the way he controlled the innings and been able to mix with his aggression as well as being able to milk the bowlers around. Again, probably one of the better innings I've ever witnessed as a player on the field.
Mark Waugh then combined with his twin brother Steve for an 86-run partnership.
Not quite. And there is Mark Waugh's 100, one of his greatest.
He got the record 3rd century and then saw Australia home for a 2nd win.
And that's victory to Australia. He's got that away fine. 4-leg byes. And the Australians, having been in trouble at one stage, you can see they are pretty happy.
2 players posted personal best in this 1996 Cricket World Cup quarter-final. Chris Harris for his best ever score of 130, and Mark Waugh for his stunning 110 in reply and his record 3rd century of the tournament.